Okay, thanks for taking a couple seconds to look at this. I'll be brief because I hate to be that cheesy video message about new technology. But I thought of you if you're on this email because I've either done the sales training or the leadership training, or you're considering it. And one of the biggest things I get from all the clients, and even when I was in executive roles, is like, okay, we do training, but how do we make it stick? And how do we get access to you 24/7? So when they're doing their prospecting, you're potentially there to listen to how they're going to do it and coach them and give them feedback and make sure the stuff that you did in that training room sticks. This practice coach is it. It's pretty cool. So I wanted to show it to you. I also want you to keep in mind, I can customize this for your operations. But I do want to show you how to navigate around it. And I've sent you a link so you can go play with it. You can do 3 prospects. You can get different people to try it as long as it's a separate email or a separate Google link that's someone registering under a different email. They've get 3 prospects to play with it. So here's how it works so you can see it really quick. So you're going to land on practice coach. Okay. And there it is there when you click on this link that I've sent in the email. And it's going to go to the landing page. And the first thing it's going to ask you is to log in either with Google or an email address. So I'm logged into Google all the time. So this is going to log me in and it's going to be my Gmail address, but it's going to be all automatic. So I'm going to choose my account and there you go. And I've been in it. So it's reminding me I'm signing back in. Now, here's the cool thing. So I'm going to do this from start so you can see this. Now, the way this works transparently is all of my content is downloaded into this engine. And it gives you different functionality to actually go and practice those training skills. And because of that, the research portion that I train, it's going to pull the research the exact same way I expected your team to do it in the room. So it's going to accelerate that research part. But I haven't allowed the system to make phone calls for them because I want them to be able to do the research and still have the human behavior of reaching out. But I also know for some of you, they're either engineers by trade or, they're manufacturers or, they're not selling 40 hours a week. So this is a new skill. So I've given them an AI partner to go and actually make calls with. Check this out. It's pretty cool. And again, keep in mind, I can customize this for you and your business, but I wanted to show you it. And again, last thing, this exists for the leadership training as well. So you'll get a feel for the sales training and imagine it now for the leadership training, but I've built it based on the sales training. So I'm going to enter a prospect and let's enter my business just as an example. Actually, you know what? Let's add a prospect and let's do, you know what? Let's do Marc Petitpas business coaching. Let's try that. Marc Petitpas. Oh my God, typing, sorry, bear with me. Petitpas business coaching. Okay. And I'm going to go in here and there it is. It'll show up and I'm going to add that prospect. Okay. So now I have this prospect to go and practice with. This is the cool part. It makes your team who are learning this behavior comfortable practicing what was trained. And I'm going to show you the functionality being able to ask me a question 24/7. So I've entered a prospect. Okay. And so there it is. And if you see here, it's researching. So all that stuff that I trained about going to Google, going to LinkedIn, going to the corporate website, it's doing it for the sales professional. It's ready now. So now I'm going to click on ready. And here we are. And now it's pulling up the situation. Hey, Marc Petitpas Business Coaching appears to be a solo or small firm coaching practice, serving business leaders with practical. So it's giving you a debrief of who I am. All those things that I trained your team to do, researching the sites individually, it can give them a fast forward. It then speaks to current work and priorities. So when I train finding out about their projects and where you can help, the system's going to pull that to help them prepare for their call and practice. It's going to talk about what the business values. So here it's talking about pulling from my website, knowing what Marc Petitpas values and does if I was going to call me as a prospect. Okay. And then it gives me talking points and likely objections and prepares me to get my notes organized for that call and does all that work that we were going to spend 20 to 30 minutes researching. When you put the prospect, it's going to do it at the push of a button. So now I've got all my notes and I'm like, you know what? I'm not sure how to open the call. So at the bottom, you'll see ask Marc about this briefing. So I'm going to say, how should I introduce introduce myself to them. And let's see what Marc Petitpas 24/7 would give as an answer based on the training. So you're seeing here, Marc is thinking. Just see if I can move this Zoom. Let's see. So I don't have that in the way. Okay. So keep it simple. Step one is not a pitch, it's a connection move. Because the research is thin, don't pretend you know more than you do. Say what's true. You know they appear to be a founder-led coaching business and you want to understand the world before talking shop. Try this structure. Who are you? Why you reached out? One honest observation from your research and one non-selling related question. So you can see that it's prepping the prospect for your professional who's making the calls or sending the emails, and they have access to asking me a question all the way along the process. It's pretty cool and it makes the training stick. So what else can it do? Well, let's go here. It can actually take the research and draft an email. So we'll pull this up, just hang tight. Okay, and there you go. And you get a note from me of why I structured the email that way. And then you've got the email based on the research. Now, what I'd ask as I do in the training is don't just copy and paste the email. Copy the email and then personalize it based on a little more research or how you would sound. But we're setting your team member up for success. Now, all of this is in the practice environment, so they can do all this before they actually ever reach out to the prospect and get a high level of comfort. Let's go back for a second. And we're going to go into the practice room. I'm going to choose a prospect to make my practice call with. Sorry, so I'm going to, choose a prospect. And we're going to call Marc Petitpas Business Coaching. My apologies. I should have. And we're going to continue to personas. So I'm going to pick who I want to practice with. A hard prospect, an easy prospect within the organization. So I'm going to pick the easy one. Okay. And this person will have less objections and it's an easier call. These are more difficult calls. When I pick on that person, I get a little bit of a persona. They're friendly, they're curious, and they're open to ideas. They're often the one keeping small projects moving and a little bit of a debrief. So I'm going to say, all right, I like this guy. And I'm going to practice all the research before I actually call. So we're going to hit preview.
Hi. This is Jason. What can I do for you?
Hi, it's Marc Petitpas from Marc Petitpas Business Coaching. How you doing today? Oops, it's not picking up my voice because I'm not yelling loud enough into it. Let me try that again. Sorry, I'm trying to do this on Zoom and video. Let's try this again. Start call with Jason. Sorry, that was a preview. So now this is brand new. As you can tell, I'm learning it. I'm going to do a cold call intro with Jason.
Hi, Jason speaking.
Okay, here we go. So you'll see right here, I'm going to start my call. And I got to allow them on the site, use my microphone. So, hi, Jason, it's Marc Petitpas speaking. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jason. Thanks for taking my call. I really appreciate it. The reason I reached out today is we're doing some sales training in your area with organizations just like yours. And I think it can help you build some revenue and find some new customers. How much time do you have to chat today?
I've got a few minutes. What were you hoping to learn about us?
Okay, so I won't take you through the whole thing, but you can see it's an actual AI interaction with a real customer to practice with. And down the right side, you're going to see all these talking points. And you're going to see live coach. So it's going to be bringing up things that it's hearing in the call and correcting them. So let's assume I finished the call here for a second. Okay, and I think you're getting the idea of the flow. So let's finish this call. And so let's go ahead and hang up. Now, again, all in the practice environment, it's going to review the call, me, based on the training content and what I'm hearing on the call. and give a debrief to the sales professional. So, good start. You earned a real opening. You got past the first hello cleanly, and Jason gave you time plus an invitation. And there's a summary. It tells you what worked on the call and one thing to improve on the call. As you go down, you'll see, are you ready for the real thing? Practice again with a harder client or draft an outreach email and just continue to, get that flow of practicing before you pick up the real call. Then, once these prospects are in, I can go back to the debrief about the call. I can get intelligence about the company before I make my next call. I can practice again. And when I've done 2 or 3 of these in a week, I am going to get a progress report. And that progress report is going to tell me which part of the sales process I'm doing well and which ones I have to improve. And again, finally, live and in the moment as you're practicing, let's go back into that prospect for a second. Hang tight. Okay, we're going to go into the prospect. While I'm practicing the skill set, I can ask me a question all the way along. Ask Mark a question, and it's a Mark GPT and 24/7. Hey, Mark, I'm not sure how to start the call. They can type it in. Hey, Mark, every time I call them, they don't pick up the phone. What type of voicemail should I leave? And I will answer based on the training content that they've been trained on. So, as I'm going to stop sharing here for a second, hang tight. The reason I wanted to share this with you again is the biggest challenge I think I've been able to overcome for organizations, whoever they use as a trainer, is once you leave the room, how do we make it stick? And we've built that in a practice environment. They can get ongoing coaching, ongoing research before they pick up the call, all the skills they picked up. If you're feeling adventurous and you want to learn a little bit more, we also have the capability to make it live. So imagine your person logging into the system with a headset, doing their phone call at their desk. And as they're talking to a real live client and they're hearing objections, down the side will be a real live feed from me of how to overcome the objection. It's pretty cool stuff. It makes the behavior stick. If you want to learn more, let me know. And again, as I mentioned, it's available for my leadership training, my supervisory training. But right now, this is out and give you an idea of how the site sits for sales. Anyways, you want to learn more, let me know. I'm happy to take you through it. Otherwise, go to the link in the email and play with it yourself. It's pretty self-explanatory. And let me know if you want to dive deeper. Cheers.